What's up, guys? We are going to want to stick around to the end. Can the Tampa Bay Buccaneers secure the #1 seed in the NFC? Can the Panthers get their young, promising team to the playoffs and over the promised land? Are they going to be mediocre? Find out. Are the Saints going to regress mightily? Or are they going to stay mediocre? Or are they still going to be an elite team, even losing Breeze and a lot of guys? Are the Falcons' offense going to be carry the defense, even with or without Julio? Watch and find out. Let's go. What's good, YouTube? It's Joey, and today we're coming with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers season predictions, like and sub, road to 400. So we're doing predictions for every single division. We're trying to get this done. If anything major changes, I'll come and update these predictions, but these are kind of my early ones. So we're doing NFC South today. Defending Super Bowl champion Buccaneers. September 9th, Cowboys Buccaneers. Who's going to win? The Cowboys have a really good offense, but they don't have a good enough defense. So I'm going to take Tom Brady because the Cowboys aren't going to be able to get after Tom. And when you can't get after Tom, that means you're not going to win. So Buccaneers over the Cowboys, and the Buccaneers defense is talented enough to beat the Cowboys. Next, you have the Falcons. That's an easy win for the Buccaneers. Falcons offense has potential, has talent, but it's not going to work because Buccaneers have that pass rush, they have that secondary, and Tom Brady is just going to have an easy time lighting up the Falcons defense. So I got the Buccaneers there. Then I have the first loss for the Buccaneers to the Rams. If you didn't watch my NFC West prediction video, I have that up on the channel, but I had the Rams beating them there because I had the Rams passing attack, Matthew Stafford scoring quite a bit of points, Sean McVay versus Todd Bowles. I picked Sean McVay there, and I thought the Rams could generate some pressure. They lost defensive talent, but I still believe they have a good enough defense and an offense that can kind of compete with the Bucs. I think this is going to be a surprising upset that could happen. In Jalen Ramsey, Aaron Donald lead the way for the Rams' victory, so it's a surprising one there. But I had the Buccaneers getting back on track against the Patriots, but I had the Buccaneers beating the Patriots because I'm taking Tom Brady over Cam Newton. Even though I think Cam Newton's going to be starting week 4 still, but that offensive line is going to be really good for the Patriots. I just don't have enough confidence in their skill weapons, their skill predictions. So I got the Buccaneers over the Patriots. And then I also got defensively, Tom Brady might struggle a little bit, but it's going to be, I think the Buccaneers win this game. Just because Cam Newton, Tom Brady, I'm taking Tom Brady for him. And then I had the Bucs beating the Dolphins. Bad matchup for Miami. I think the Buccaneers pass rush will get after Tua quite a bit. And speed of the Dolphins defense is the Dolphins wide receivers is a concern. But I don't think that the Dolphins have quite the roster enough. They have the secondary, but I don't think they have a good enough pass rush or offensive line. They're not good enough up front, but the coaching staff is good. So Dolphins may be able to get the upset, but I don't think so. Then Buccaneers versus Eagles. I'm going to have to take the Buccaneers there. The Eagles have good enough linebackers or a secondary, so I think Tom Brady is going to be able to find his receivers open quite easily. And then defensively, I don't think Jalen Hurts in that Eagles offense is going to be enough to outdo Tom, so I got Tom winning there. Now I got Tom beating the Bears. Andy Dalton might be the starter at week 7. They might be starting him over Justin Fields for his first year. But who knows? Maybe they already get tired of Andy Dalton and put Justin Fields in there. But whoever's the starting quarterback, I think the Bucs still win. The Bears have been losing defensive talent like Fuller at corner, and I don't think their offensive line is good enough. So give me the Bucs. there. And then you have Buccaneers versus Saints. The Saints are really downgrading, although their pass rush could be really good with Cam Jordan and the guy they drafted in the first round. I'm blanking on his name, sorry. And then their pass rush could be pretty solid. They added a power rusher in the draft. But their secondary is just not good enough outside of Marcus Williams and Marshawn Lattimore. And the receiver core has lost some talent. And Jameis Winston versus Tom, I think I'm taking Tom. Buccaneers' run defense is really good, and the Saints might have to rely on Alvin Kamara in that run game. So I'm going to take the Bucs. Now this one's an interesting one. Week 10 versus the Washington football team. Last year in the postseason, the Buccaneers beat the football team, although the football team almost beat them. But the pass rush and Chase Run regretted saying, "I want Tom." So, I mean, the pass rush might get after it. In this one, their pass rush is really good. They're also getting better up front. They literally have a complete defense. I mean, you look at Chase Young, Montez Sweat, Cameron Payne. It's not Cameron Payne. I'm watching too much basketball. Payne, I forget his first name. I'm really watching too much basketball. But they drafted Jamin Davis. They got the corners with Fuller and Darby, and also, or not Darby. They got the corner from the Bengals, William Jackson II. They got a nice up-and-coming safety, Kamen Curl. So they have a really good defense in the secondary and up front with the good coaching staff. It's just, is the offense enough? It might be an ugly game, but I don't think the football team's offensive line is good enough. They're going to have to run the ball. But Fitzpatrick, could it happen? Could he pull an upset kind of like he did in New England? I don't know. It's the football team off the bye week. I think they can. I think the football team got better. I know there's going to be some upsets. You might think these are stupid predictions sometimes, but there's always these upsets that happen. Just a game you don't expect to happen, to go one way, and then it happens, and you're like, oh boy. But the Buccaneers suffer a surprising upset, but that's okay because they should get back on track on the Giants. Although the Giants caused them problems last year, but the Giants' offensive line and Daniel Jones is a bad recipe for disaster against that Buccaneers defense. Although the Giants might have the quality offense, defense to slow down Tom, I don't think it's going to be enough, so I'm going to give the Buccaneers there. Now, Buccaneers going on the road versus the Colts. Give me Tom over Carson Wentz, but the Colts receivers, I don't know if they're going to be enough either. And their run-first team, Buccaneers got that run defense. And then their secondary, I don't think they're going to have a good job slowing down the Buccaneers receiving game, so I'm going to have to take the Bucs there. And then I have the Buccaneers sweeping the Falcons. I just don't think the Falcons are really well equipped, especially now that Julio Jones is going to be gone. It depends what the Falcons get in return, but I don't think if the Falcons get, I'm assuming the Falcons are getting draft picks, so they're probably going to be more on the tanking side this year. So I'm going to take the Bucs. And then I had the Buccaneers beating the Bills in the AFC East predictions. I just don't think the Bills could score, but I don't think the Bills have a good enough pass rush to get after Tom. And those wide receivers are so talented, I think the Buccaneers could win. Although the Bills might surprisingly win, but I think that pass rush could create some troubles for Josh Allen. Although the Bills might be able to get that upset, but I'm sticking with the Bucs. Then I have the Bucs sweeping the Saints. I just no more Drew Brees, although he kind of hurt them last year. I just don't know how their quarterback situation is going to work. I'm not confident in Jameis, Taysom Hill, or the rookie they drafted. I'm not confident in any of them. In the wide receivers outside of Michael Thomas, it's getting worse. They lose Jared Cook, and their defense getting worse. So I don't know. It's the Buccaneers. I'm just gonna pick them over the Saints to sweep. And then versus the Panthers, a young up-and-coming team. I'm going to take the Bucs. The Panthers have a young defense with nice pass rushers and some young DBs like Chin and J.C. Horn, but I'm taking the Buccaneers here, and I think their offense would be able to score on them. Their defense might have problems with the Panthers' offense, but the pass rush of the Bucs wins them a lot of games. So football team, Rams, Patriots, Bills, Colts are their toughest games, but the Buccaneers have a pretty easy schedule, and 14-2 so far. It's enough for the #1 seed. Oh, I'm missing a game. Actually 15-2. I forgot to pick the second Panthers game. The Buccaneers sweeping the Panthers, so that's enough so far to get them the 1 seed. We're missing one prediction after this video. It's the NFC East, so we'll bring that to you. Just keep showing support on these prediction videos. I'll keep having them out for you. But that's the Buccaneers, 15-2, defending Super Bowl champs. They have a literal complete roster, great offensive line, great quarterback, insane weapons, good running backs, defensively great pass rush, good linebackers. Corners are young and upcoming, and safeties are young and upcoming. So, I mean, the Buccaneers could go 17-0, 20-0. Who knows? Probably could. That's realistic. But undefeated in their division, 10-2 in their conference, 15-2 overall. So, let's go to the Panthers here. I had them beating the Jets week 1 because the Jets corners, I don't like it. And I think that young upcoming defense can make enough plays. Zach Wilson still figuring some things out. Robbie Anderson versus his old team. Should be a fun one, really underrated game week 1. And then week 2, we have the Saints Panthers. This one's interesting, but I'm actually going to take the Panthers. Ooh. Do I do it? Yeah, I do it. Because, I mean, that Saints pass rush might be able to cause some type of troubles for the Panthers, but that secondary, I'm just like, outside of Lattimore, I mean, you got worse there, and the receivers got worse, and I think the Panthers are a young and up-and-coming team, so I take them there. Panthers have a pretty easy schedule. I'm looking through this real quick. I think they beat the Texans here. Texans are really bad. I might just have the Texans going 0-17. I mean, they're just that bad. Really, on both sides of the ball. So I got the Panthers. Cowboys, Panthers. I'm gonna give this one to the Cowboys. Oh, do I? Yeah. I'm gonna predict a little upset game here. I take Dak over Sam Darnold, and the offensive line, I think, can buy Dak time, and his receivers can get open. A little bump in the road for the Panthers. Although they could score, it might be a shootout. It's probably going to be a shootout, but I think the Cowboys do enough to secure this win. So Eagles, Panthers here. This one's another tough one. Jalen Hurts and Nick Sirianni's offense is going to be something interesting to watch. But I'm going to have to go with the Panthers. It's just a bad matchup for the Eagles. Panthers got the pass rush to get after it, although Jalen Hurts can get away from it. But I just don't really have enough confidence in that Eagles secondary. So I'm going to go Panthers. And then Vikings versus the Panthers. I'm going to have to... I took the Panthers again in that NFC North prediction video. It's going to be a shootout. Kirk Cousins, Sam Darnold, all those weapons, but I trusted the Panthers defense more than the Vikings defense with Brian Burns and Hassan Reddick and those guys. Derek Brown. And then Giants versus the Panthers. Who am I going to take here? I like Sam Darnold more than I like Daniel Jones. That Giants defense, though, may cause problems for that Panthers defense. Giants have a pretty solid defense. They have good weapons, but that Panthers pass rush is going to get after it. So that's going to make me iffy there. I'm just going to take the Giants at home. Actually, I'm taking the Panthers. I'm taking the pass rush of the Panthers to get after Daniel Jones and cause havoc there. I just think they can cause turnovers, win you games. So I'm going to take the Panthers. Then Panthers Falcons. Ooh, this one's tough. The Falcons can score. So can the Panthers. I'm going to have them split. I'm going to have them split here. So I'm going to have the Falcons winning at home. The Panthers take the other game. So I got the Falcons winning the first one. I have them winning a shootout here with Ridley, Kyle Pitts, Matt Ryan. They still have. They're going to get something in return for Julio. Defensively, they do just enough to beat the Panthers, although they don't have much of a defense. But it's a shootout. I have them winning this shootout, but I have the Panthers doing enough to win this other one here. Patriots and Cardinals both beating the Panthers here on this rough bump in the road. I have the Patriots beating the Panthers because I just like the Patriots' offensive line to give Cam enough time, and I like their defense to slow down the Panthers. Bill Belichick coming in with a good plan. So Patriots use their tight ends well. So I'm going to take the Patriots there. I have the Cardinals beating the Panthers. Kyler Murray, DeAndre Hopkins, Rondale Moore. Who knows? Cardinals could also get Julio. D-Hop's pushing for it. Can it happen? Hopefully. But defensively, the Cardinals are pretty underrated. J.J. Watt's not going to be getting double teamed all that much. Chandler Jones is really good. Obviously, they have some underrated guys in the interior. They have good linebackers with Simmons, and they add the rookie Collins, and then they have a good secondary with Buda Baker, Malcolm Butler. So I think the Cardinals take this game week 10. Week 11, ooh, this one's a tough one to predict. Football team has that insane defense. The Panthers have that pass rush to get after it. So Fitzpatrick, Darnold, which one do I trust more? Fitzpatrick can come up in clutcher moments. They're both mobile and they can move around, but both are going to have pass rushes coming at them like crazy. I like the football team. I think the football team can grab this one. Do I? Yeah. It could go either way. Really, it could. But I'm going to take the football team here. I got the Panthers beating the Dolphins in my AFC East predictions. Panthers pass rush is just going to be too much for Tua in that offensive line. So I got the Panthers there. Although that secondary of the Dolphins I like. But I think that Panthers pass rush, too much offensive talent. I'm going to have the Panthers winning there. And then Falcons, Panthers, I have them splitting. And then, I have the Falcons and Panthers splitting here. I already explained that. And then Bills, Panthers, I have the Bills beating the Panthers. So I got that. I had the Josh Allen and the Bills passing attack doing work on that Panthers secondary. I think that's a mismatch. And then their defense, I think they can come in with the good enough defensive game plan to get the W. I have the Buccaneers beating the Panthers. Explain that in the Buccaneers predictions. I had them sweeping the Panthers. And then Panthers Saints here. I mean, is this going to make much of a difference? I'm gonna have the Saints splitting with the Panthers. I think that's fair enough. Saints are kind of flawed, but I think the coaching staff, they can come in here and get one win. So I have them splitting. So I have the Panthers coming in here at 8-9, 2-4 in the division, 5-7. They're a young team with a lot of promise, but they have some tough matchups in here. I'd say give them 1 or 2 more years, and they could be an NFC contender. They have guys I like: Reddick, Brian Burns, Robbie Anderson, DJ Moore, CMC. I like Jason Horn. Jeremy Chin. They have young guys, but I think they just need some more pieces and experience. So I have them 8-9 here. So we're going on to the New Orleans Saints next. Their first 3 games already predicted. I had the Packers beating them week 1. Assuming Rodgers starts, I just think the Packers are better skill position wise with the passing attack. I think Rodgers is going to be able to light them up. This is assuming Rodgers is starting, and I think the Packers secondary can do good enough job on Jameis Winston, and the Packers winning there. I have the Panthers beating the Saints. I had them splitting. I already explained that in the Panthers predictions. I had the Patriots beating the Saints in the AFC East predictions. I just think the Patriots defense is going to be too much for that Saints offense, and Bill Belichick and company are going to come in with a good game plan. Patriots have a good offensive line, good tight ends, good run game, and some solid receivers. So I'd say the Patriots win there. Saints Giants though. Saints 2 quarterbacks that turn the ball over, but Sean Payton I think can do a good job to minimize Jameis Winston's turnovers. But it's an offensive line of the Giants that can be taken advantage of. But that defense of the Giants is pretty good. Those Giants wide receivers, though, can get free. But I think the Saints could shut down Saquon. So who do I pick here? I'm going to take the Saints. I almost took the Giants, but it's going to be a game that could go either way. I'm just going to take the Saints. Saints football team, I think this is a win for the football team. Their defense is just super good, and Jameis Winston is going to struggle versus it. He is. So I'm going to take the football team there, and I think they can generate enough offense in that passing game to win. And then I had the Seahawks beating the Saints. Russell Wilson, I think he can buy time from that pass rush, light up that secondary if they allow him. But if they're going to run the ball first, that might be a little bit of an issue. But I think the Seahawks are good enough to beat the Saints. I'm taking Wilson over Jameis Winston. And then I have the Buccaneers splitting the Saints. Can find that where I talk about the Buccaneers earlier in this video. And then Saints Falcons, I'm going to have them split. I'm going to have the Saints and Falcons splitting. They're 2 arch rivals. Falcons offense can be really explosive and really good in the passing attack, so I think that's what wins them Week 18. But the Saints have an offense that could score on the Falcons, so it's going to be interesting, but I think they'll split. But I'm going to say the Titans win versus the Saints. Here, Derrick Henry, Ryan Tannehill, AJ Brown, I think that could be enough to give the Titans enough offensive firepower. And then defensively, they got Bud Dupree. If they let Harold Landry rush the passer, I think they have a good enough secondary to just kind of hold up against the Saints passing attack. So I'm going to have the Titans winning there, although the Saints could pull off this surprising win. And then Week 11, Saints-Eagles. I don't know. We have 2 more games to predict. So Eagles, Devontae Smith versus Marshawn Lattimore. That's going to be something to watch. Can Reagor step up? The Eagles beat them last year, and that was with the much better Saints team. So I'm not sure. I'm gonna take the Saints here, though. I think their pass rush could do just enough against Hurts, and Sean Payton's a good enough coach. Jalen Hurts and Nick Sirianni's offense, I'm just not a big fan. And then Jameis Winston and Sean Payton could figure out a way to attack that Eagles defense, and Alvin Kamara get involved, Michael Thomas. And then Cowboys Saints, I got the Saints winning there. I got the Cowboys winning there. That passing attack versus that secondary, I think, is really good for the Cowboys' favor. And if they get into a shootout, I'm definitely taking the Cowboys over the Saints. Saints beating the Jets in the AFC East predictions. I think that pass rush can get after Zach Wilson, and then that offense can attack that secondary, and Alvin Kamara could get in there. And then I had the Buccaneers sweeping the Saints. I had the Saints beating the Dolphins because that Saints pass rush against the Dolphins offensive line, I think it's a mismatch. I had the Dolphins beating the Saints, my bad, because of the Dolphins secondary and the speed at their receivers. I thought would be too much for the Saints. So I had the Dolphins beating the Saints. Saints, I had them beating the Panthers. I had them splitting. And I had the Falcons splitting with the Saints. So it's a 5-2 record. You thought they might do a little better than this, but I said a couple games would go either way. I had them splitting between the Panthers and the Falcons. I just think I'm just not completely sold as Jameis on their starter. They don't have a receiver outside of Michael Thomas, and even he struggled last year, which is concerning. And they lost Janoris Jenkins, they lost Trey Hendrickson. So I don't know. They still have a good team. It's just a lot of bad matchups. They had to move on from a lot of players. So they could do better than this, but I don't think they'll be a playoff team. They're kind of in a rebuild stage. They had a questionable draft, iffy draft. So I got them at 5-12. But that's going to do it for these predictions. Or actually, no, I got one more team. I almost ended it. But I have the Falcons to predict still. So Eagles-Falcons week 1. It's going to be a shootout. I'm just not sure who will win. Jalen Hurts, Matt Ryan, Devontae Smith, week 1 debut. I'm going to take the Eagles. I think the Eagles up front could win this one for the Eagles. The Falcons could take this one. It's going to be a shootout. So I think the Eagles defense is just a little bit better than the Falcons. They're pretty evenly matched. Let's just say that. There might be full stadiums, but I got the Eagles winning that. I'm back and forth on that one. I really am. This could go either way. This really could. But I have the Buccaneers sweeping the Falcons. Falcons-Giants. I'm going to give the Giants that win. It's just their defense. I think they can lock down the Falcons. And I think their offense will do just enough. I don't think it's a good matchup for the Falcons. And then you have the football team versus the Falcons. That defense, though, it's really one of the worst matchups the Falcons could get. Because that defense can lock them up, and that offense has talent on it. So I think the football team wins that. The Falcons beating the Jets. Jets cornerback secondary. It's looking pretty iffy there. And then here against the Cowboys, I had the Cowboys. I'm going to have the Cowboys winning that one in a shootout. It really could go either way. Both defenses aren't that great, but offenses are both good. I'm going to take Dak Prescott over Matt Ryan. Falcons really choked last time they played. And then Falcons-Jaguars here. I had the Dolphins beating the Falcons, actually. Let's backtrack. In our AFC East predictions, because the Dolphins secondary, and I thought their offense could score enough. Jaguars versus the Falcons. Trevor versus Matt Ryan. The Jaguars have guys like Miles Jack, Josh Allen, underrated guys on the defense. We'll get to this Patriots thing in a second. I just accidentally skipped over it. I'm just going to take the Falcons could score a good amount of points. It's going to be a shootout. I'm going to take the Jaguars, though. Trevor, I think, can get a win here. And I had the Patriots beating the Falcons. I think that defense and Belichick's going to come up with a good game plan. And I'm not sure that the Falcons defense can hold up against that Patriots offense. And I had the Panthers splitting with the Falcons. I had the Niners beating the Falcons because I think the Niners are much better on both sides of the ball. Trey Lance could be starting at this point, but even if it is Jimmy G starting, that defense could just do enough, and I think that offense is going to score too many points. I had the Lions upsetting the Falcons here because of that offensive line and time, but I might change that. I think it's going to be, I think the Falcons can win that, but I'm going to keep my predictions the same from earlier. And the Bills, I have them beating the Falcons, Josh Allen's points, and then Falcons beating the Saints. So I don't know. I feel like the Falcons can definitely do better than this, but then again, they're going to lose Julio. They still have an explosive offense, but it's just that defense, man. It's just all about the matchups and playing the matchup games, but it's really hard to pick these teams right now. So I have the Buccaneers 15-2, Panthers 8-9, Saints 5-12, Falcons 2-14. Do you guys agree? Disagree? Let me know down in the comment section below. After we're done with all these division predictions, I will have my playoff predictions in the Super Bowl 56 winner. Stick around for that. We got NFC East, AFC North, and AFC South. So we have 3 more divisions. We're almost done with this. But thank you all so much for watching. Like and subscribe for 100. Comment down below. I subscribe, please. That does me a huge favor. Let me know how I can improve these videos. Thank you all so much for watching. See you in the next one. Peace, man. Join my Discord. It's really good.